Hello everybody, I'm Trix33, and this is Cheat Engine. In this video, I'm going to be showing you the very bare bones basics of Cheat Engine, and we're going to be doing it all using Geometry Dash. If you're completely unfamiliar with Cheat Engine, or just anything programming related in general, that's perfectly okay. This should all make sense by the end of the video. With that said, let's start cheating. The very first thing you're going to want to do once you have Cheat Engine open is you're going to want to bind it to a process. You can see up at the top here it says no process selected. So what we can do is come over to the top left, click this button. It's going to show you all the processes that are running on your computer. And we're going to select Geometry Dash. Once that's selected, we can start looking at some of the other things that we have here. This giant thingy on the right here is all for scanning the game for certain values that you can modify later. So let's say I want to modify this color ID value using Cheat Engine. What we're going to do is just, set this to some random ID or whatever, and then we're going to say unknown initial value and then all. And the reason we're going to be doing this is because this value for the color ID could be binary, byte, 2 bytes, 4 bytes, 8 bytes, floats, double, strings, arrays of, it could be all of this stuff. And we don't know that yet. So we're going to say all an unknown initial value. Because if it's, binary, it's not going to be 5, it's going to be a series of zeros and ones. So once we have that scanned, like that, you can see up at the top left, 281 million different numbers, different values were found. And we're going to have to narrow that down to just this one. And the way we're going to do that is by, we can set this to be something higher, and then increased value, and then next scan. And you can see these are all of the values that have increased in value since the last time we scanned. We can even do that again. Let's set it to 10, and then increase value, scan it. And then we could even move the game around a little bit, open and close this, and then do unchanged value since we didn't change it. And we're already down to 52,000. Like, that's pretty good. And I kind of like to spam this sometimes because you can see it gets values down really fast if you just spam it. Now that we have that, let's maybe make this number a little lower. Do decrease value down to 4,000. Just keep moving this. Let's open this, do unchanged value. We're down to 2,000. You could usually get this down pretty quickly. We're already down to about 1,400. Let's increase it a little bit. Let's do increased value, 302. Let's move it down a little bit. Let's do some decreased values, down to 80. We're almost there. All right, 4. All right, 51 values. Maybe move this around. Move that around a little bit. Set it to unchanged value. And this may take a little while. If you're doing newer games, it's going to take longer than if you were doing some older game because there's going to be more processes running at once. And let's do increase value. And maybe that. And oop, look, right here. The last value we had set was 6, and now it's 4, which we have here. So let's maybe set it to 7, and look at that. It's 7 now. So we can generally assume that this is the value of this guy here. So the rest of this stuff, it's useless. Let's just increase the value, get rid of all of that. Got 8 addresses left. Let's make you like 11. Check it back. There we go. The value is 11. So we can definitely assume this address right here is where the value in this color trigger is being stored. And once you've found that out, we can add selected addresses to the address list. So what you're going to do, or what this is doing, rather, is it's bringing this value here down to this little guy here, where we can then modify it. So let's say we want this value to be 20. So let's say 20, and then we click active, yes. So now this is telling the game, this address must be 20. I will not let it be any other value. So now we edit object, look at that, the color ID is 20. And we could maybe, make it like The funny number 420. Let's reactivate it. And look at that. 420. You can use this to modify all sorts of things with this little guy here, your addresses. And a couple things worth noting before I go into some other stuff is that, again, always search for value types all. You'll have to use some inferences sometimes. If it's not a 4-byte number that you see here, you can see it's labeled 4 at the end, which means it's 4-byte. And we set this to 20. See if we go back in, 420. Another thing I wanted to show is that this will always be active. It's not just going to add or increase value, it's just going to set it as this value. It's not going to ever be anything unless, we deactivate this, and then you can change it to like 20 and then open it again. But yeah, that is the very bare bones basics of searching for addresses in Geometry Dash. This applies to all sorts of other games. If you're looking to cheat on something else, modify something else, that's like, especially older games, like if you have an emulator for Super Nintendo or something, as long as you use a little bit of inferences about how this value might be increasing or decreasing behind the scenes, you should eventually be able to find how it's stored and then modify it like this. I believe that just about covers everything about the bare bones basics of finding addresses and then changing the values with Cheat Engine. If you have any more questions, comments, or concerns, leave them in the YouTube comments. You can also message me on Twitter at @tricks_games, TRICKS_GAMES, or on Discord at tricks33 #4816. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this taught you something new about Cheat Engine, and I look forward to seeing you in the next tutorial. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.